Welcome, everyone. This is the Telarus Tuesday call for April 3rd, 2018. We invite you to log into our video feed for all of today's exciting information and to submit questions and comments for our presenters today via our chat window. It's all at Telarus.com. Start. I'm Doug Miller, joined today by Telarus VP of Engineering, Josh Lupresto. Josh is here with an exciting presentation on building enterprise service offerings and revenue on the back of traditional coax sales. The potential uses and applications for these services have grown and increased, and Josh will explain how you can use these simple transactional sales to dramatically build your business. It's Josh Lupresto. He's coming up in just minutes. We'll also be joined today by Telarus VP of Marketing, Amy Bailey, with an announcement unlike anything you've heard before on the Telarus Tuesday call. This is truly a Telarus first. Amy Bailey's big announcement is also coming up in just moments. If you happen to miss last week's call, our month-long discussion of mobility and related services and opportunities wrapped up with terrific training from Mettel. Whether it's enterprise mobility management, Internet of Things opportunities, or fixed wireless, Mettel solutions help keep your clients open for business anywhere, anytime. Last week's call recording is available now in your Telarus partner back office. Telarus VP of Sales Operations for Mobility, Tiffany Wolf, and her team are ready to assist with all of your mobility and related opportunities. You can contact them anytime by emailing mobility@Telarus.com. Take advantage of this outstanding Telarus specialty team. A few exciting regional training and networking events to tell you about this week. Hope you'll join us if we're in your area. Tomorrow, Wednesday, April 4th, from 2 until 5 p.m. Central Time at the Zayo Data Center in Dallas. It's Tech Talk about object-based storage with Telarus and Zayo. Every customer you work with is using and paying for OBS. You'll learn how to be their hero by making this gateway service part of your cloud practice. And then next Tuesday, April 10th, join Telarus in New Orleans for a special lunch and learn with Nextiva and Unity. We'll be at Emerald's in the Big Easy from noon until 2 p.m. Central to learn more about Nextiva's all-in-one communications platform and about Unity's mission to provide the critical communications infrastructure needed to seamlessly connect the world. Also next Tuesday, April 10th, from noon until 5 p.m. Pacific Time, you can join Telarus and AT&T for the AT&T Technology Expo and Education Series. It's at the Edgewater Hotel on Pier 67 and sponsored by Aruba, a Hewlett-Packard Enterprise company. This will be a terrific lunch, education, and mixer event helping you to better get to know AT&T products and services. You can register for these and other great Telarus business building events at Telarus.com events. Or just call us. We will take care of everything. Today I have a special announcement regarding 2018's biggest event, the upcoming Telarus Partner Exchange. All Telarus partners are warmly invited to join us in Florida at the Boca Raton Resort, June 19th through 21st for the pinnacle event of the year. Telarus is bringing together hundreds of partners and our best-of-breed suppliers for a week of training, networking, business building, and fun, all at one of the most beautiful beach settings Florida has to offer. There is nothing quite like the Telarus Partner Exchange. All of the information, including agenda and registration info, can be found at Telarus.com Partner Exchange, and note that's spelled Partner Exchange with an X. As you can see on the slide, this link will allow you to register, reserve a hotel room, and select your Friday activity, including snorkeling, fishing, golfing, or how about a spa treatment. Now, please pay close attention to this important announcement. For all Telarus Diamond, Platinum, and Gold partners, Telarus is holding your rooms, but only until this Friday, April 6th. Now, you should have already received a confirmation from the resort and an email from Jackie Burleigh. That's spelled Burleigh if you're doing a search for it. Now, these partners must email Jackie back and confirm their dates. Telarus covers 3 days for Diamond, Platinum, and Gold partners. But without a confirmation by this Friday, April 6th, those rooms will be released and become available to other attendees. So don't wait. Confirm now or register for the event at the site shown on your screen, Telarus.com Partner Exchange with an X. We can't wait to see you in Florida. And, of course, Telarus will be all over the Channel Partners Conference and Expo April 17th through the 20th in Las Vegas. If you're there, we want to see you. And the week following, the Telarus Innovation Conferences rev back up once again. These conferences are immersive technology training experiences with workshops and case studies on security, SD-WAN, contact center, and much more. Take your business to the next level and network with the industry experts. Now, we've scheduled 4 Telarus Innovation Conferences in April. Here's that schedule. Tuesday, April 24th, we'll be in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the Milwaukee Brewers Baseball Club, and also in Orlando, Florida at Topgolf. And then on Thursday, April 26th, the Telarus Innovation Conferences are in Tampa, Florida at Topgolf, and in Washington, D.C. at Nationals Park. These are outstanding opportunities. They are designed to help you take full advantage of Telarus tools, resources, and support. The space is limited, so please register now at Telarus.com events. Next up, some exciting and very well-deserved recognition for 3 of our high-performing Telarus partners. They have put up some of the top wins in this past week. In this week's 3rd position, Telarus congratulates Jake Cummins and his team at CloudNexion, your connection to the cloud. Jake and CloudNexion teamed up with CenturyLink on a sale of point-to-point services to a customer in the cloud security industry. CenturyLink ensures that your client has a simple and secure network that adapts as business shifts and grows and provides reliable access. Jake Cummins founded CloudNexion to help clients buy smarter, and CloudNexion has become a disruptive force within our industry, providing clients with invaluable knowledge, support, and service, while also giving back to the community. They set the standard for business ethics and integrity. Congratulations, Jake Cummins and CloudNexion, on this outstanding CenturyLink sale. And in this week's 2nd position, Telarus recognizes and congratulates Phil Tuckwiller and the team at MicroAge out of Tempe, Arizona, the IT solution experts. Phil and the MicroAge team put together an absolutely massive contact center solution from NICE inContact for a customer in the ever-growing financial services industry. NICE inContact makes it easy for contact centers to transform one-on-one experiences. And MicroAge really hit it out of the park with this sale. They traced their roots back to the opening of one of the first computer retail outlets back in the 70s and have grown to become ranked among the largest North American solution providers. With strong relationships, expert certifications, and decades of experience, MicroAge harnesses it all to create the right solution for their clients. Congratulations, Phil Tuckwiller and the MicroAge team. What an outstanding NICE inContact sale. And topping our leaderboard this week, Telarus congratulates Jim Billhorn, he being the owner of James E. Billhorn Network Consulting, LLC. They're out of St. Genevieve, Missouri, a town totaling about 4.2 square miles. That's it, with a population of just over 4,000 people. Jim registered an absolutely massive sale of MPLS services from ACC Business to a client also in the financial services industry. That's 2 of the top 3 this week. ACC Business is a specialized brand from AT&T, which combines exceptional service with a flexible suite of IP, data, and voice offerings. James E. Bilhorn Network Consulting is now a 5-year Telarus partner, and Jim's been involved with our industry for more than 30 years. It's an outstanding sale, Jim. It is our top Telarus sale of the week. And thanks to these 3 top-selling partners and to all of you for trusting Telarus with your business. Telarus is built for you. Well, today I'm very happy to be joined by Telarus VP of Marketing, Amy Bailey. She and her team do a phenomenal job in planning, promoting, and ensuring the complete success of most of our Telarus partner events. And they provide a wealth of services to our Telarus partners. They can use those services in building their own businesses as well. See it all at Telarus.com Marketing. And now here's Amy Bailey with a very special announcement. Hi, Amy.
Hey, Doug. Thank you. So I'm super excited about this. I don't know about you guys, but Cuba is definitely on my bucket list. I've always been talking about going to Cuba before it gets changed by the commercialism that's bound to happen when everything, comes over there and becomes luxury hotels and all the same cars that we see on our roads here. But we are going to go to Cuba, and we're going to go on a cruise. It's really the best way to see Cuba. Cuba doesn't have any amazing 5-star resorts that the Telarus President's Club is known for. When we were at the Hyatt Ziva down in Cancun this year, we had amazing ratings from our guests that said, wow, this resort was fantastic. Cuba doesn't have that. And so the best way to see Cuba is on a cruise ship. So if you push the next slide, we are going to be on the Azamara Club Journey. This is a really small ship. This only has about 690 people on it. So it's not the big, 5,000-6,000 person cruise ship where you totally get lost. It's a very intimate setting. We will be setting sail March 21st through March 25th of 2019. Again, very excited about this. We will actually be leaving from Miami. We'll set sail in the afternoon, and we'll have a nice dinner on board. It's nice open seating. You don't have to wear suits and ties on it. I know we always get a hard time from our guests about being on vacation having to wear a suit and tie. No need here. We will have an optional sightseeing day at your expense, and then we have a classic American car tour in Cuba. So really excited about this, something very unique. We have all kinds of classic cars there. We have drivers to take you there, easy panoramic tours of Cuba. If you want to go and do some optional hop-on, hop-off trolley tours, a kayaking nature tour, there's cigar rolling tours. There's all kinds of other things that you can do. We'll also have a day in Key West, and so we thought that was really important to be able to have a nice day in Key West. So looking forward to that. There are some great ways to qualify for it. You can qualify by selling $100,000 from Telarus. You can also qualify with some of our great suppliers. So sell $60,000 from Comcast, and they'll pay for your trip. Sell $21,000 with Airspring, and they'll pay for your trip. Spend $10,000 in 8x8, they'll pay for your trip. So some great options. You'll be able to find those on the website as well as on the app. So be sure to look for those. This is, again, a luxury cruise. All cabins are veranda balconies. Some great stops here. We have the ultimate beverage package included. It's all-inclusive like you expect from us. So really excited to offer you that. If you have any questions, please let us know. Your Telarus Partner Support Managers will have more information. There's also a press release on our website. If you click the blog, there is a press release there. So thank you for whoever just wrote. Great idea for President's Club 2019. This has been on my list for a while, and we looked into it a couple years ago, and they only had 7-day cruises, and we know that partners have a hard time taking that much time away from their business. But we're excited about this. We're leaving on a Thursday. We'll be back on a Monday, so you're not leaving too much time away from the business, but this is definitely a bucket list. So thanks, and can't wait to see everybody in Cuba next year. Thanks, Doug.
Hey, thank you, Amy. What a unique and exhilarating opportunity for Telarus partners. We hope to see many of you at our President's Club coming up in March of next year. This is an outstanding opportunity. Thanks, Amy, to you and all of the marketing team for your outstanding efforts as well. Now we take a quick peek at this week's training calendar. We have 4 excellent featured opportunities. On today's call, as Telarus and our suppliers help build your business with valuable information you need to know. First up, today, beginning at 2 p.m. Eastern, you can join Evolve IP and learn how to future-proof your client's business with the ultimate omni-channel contact center strategy. You'll learn the needs and drivers affecting your clients, the key criteria to consider when choosing an omni-channel engagement provider, and the tips and strategies you can offer that maximize the omni-channel contact center experience. Evolve IP will show you how. It's today at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then tomorrow, Wednesday at noon Eastern, you have two informative opportunities from which to choose. First, RapidScale presents a compelling case study showing you how to replicate success in the cloud computing space. This Anatomy of the Deal presentation details the opportunity's discovery, customer engagement, closing, implementation, and subsequent growth of the account. RapidScale will also discuss how to accomplish future growth goals, including the attainment of new clients. RapidScale case study Wednesday at noon Eastern. And then the second option for tomorrow, at noon Eastern, NITEL will show you how to make yourself dangerous with NITEL Trusted Advisor Training. We're talking about managed security here, and a one-size-fits-all approach simply doesn't work. You'll learn how to successfully use customer needs and priorities in making your security recommendations, including auto failover for single-site networks, decentralized security architecture, and enterprise-grade security with cloud or premise-based solutions. Manage security from NITEL. Be your client's trusted advisor. That NITEL training happens tomorrow at noon Eastern. And finally, if you happen to miss our launch and training call for new Telarus supplier Brodent, please take time to watch and listen to that call's recording in your Telarus partner back office. Now, Brodent is an international provider of business-grade telecom and IT solutions to more than 200 countries globally. Brodent helps Telarus partners monetize your clients' international connectivity and networking needs, offering them more value and differentiating you from your competition. You can fully quote on global bids, bringing you more potential customers and retaining those with an international presence. That February launch and training call is available on demand anytime in your Telarus partner back office. The details and registration links for these and for other live and recorded learning opportunities are all in your Telarus partner back office at agent.telarus.com. If you need training, we've got training and live help as well from our engineers, specialty teams, and the best support in the industry. Let us help. Telarus is built for you. And we try to pass along some of the best available spiffs to our Telarus partners as well for sales of popular products from our suppliers. A few featured offerings to tell you about this week. First up, from RingCentral. Ever hear someone use the word plethora and wonder exactly what that means? Well, it means an overabundance or an excess. And RingCentral wants to show you what it means by offering a plethora of cash, 3x MRR to be exact, for selling RingCentral Office digital lines or contact center users. Just enroll and activate new customers between March 1st and June 30th on a multi-year contract and qualify for a 3x MRR bonus. It's a plethora of cash from RingCentral. And then next, CenturyLink has announced its large deal incentive. They're offering large payouts for large non-channel integrated deals. Now, a non-channel integrated deal greater than 50K MRC will earn a payout of $20,000, and a non-channel integrated deal greater than $100,000 MRC earns a payout of $30,000. Net new orders signed, received, and accepted by CenturyLink between February 20th and June 30th qualify. Don't miss these tremendous large deal incentives from CenturyLink. And then finally, from YipTel, it's a super simple promotion with a super simple payout and a super simple name to go with it. It's called the Super Simple Spiff. It offers a 1x, 2x, or a 3x MRR payout based on the contract term for accounts sold with 5 users or more. YipTel is offering big money for sales from April 1st through June 30th. Get your share at the Super Simple Spiff from YipTel. Fantastic deals from our suppliers, and there are many more. You can check out all of the Telarus supplier spiffs and incentives anytime online at promo.telarus.com. Well, as I mentioned earlier, I'm very happy today to welcome Telarus VP of Engineering, Josh Lupresto. Josh and his team can help you increase close ratios on large, complex deals when a Telarus engineer assists in designing a custom solution. It's a valuable service to Telarus partners. However, today, Josh Lupresto is talking about a service we often think of as less complex, coax cable. And yet these sales can be the basis for enterprise service offerings and contribute in a big way to building your revenue. Welcome, Josh. Sounds like great news for partners looking for big opportunities.
Yeah, exciting stuff. Thanks, Doug. Excited to be here. So what I want to talk about today is I want to take the traditional transactional sale that we're all very familiar with, the traditional coax sale, and talk about how by just asking a couple questions and going a little deeper into the opportunity, we can take that and we can make that $70 sale 10x. So this does a couple things for you as a partner. You know, this obviously makes the opportunity, the revenue, the commission much larger, but it does another more important thing. It helps you, the partner, stay sticky to this customer, because customers, small to medium business, enterprise business, they're looking for all kinds of different products and technologies. So if we can layer in additional technologies and services from a provider that you may have sold them that they're already familiar with, then that makes this whole process all that much easier. So today we're going to cover that. We're going to start talking about coax. So let's jump right into the next slide. So this is a trend from a pricing perspective, specifically from Comcast. So if we flash back and look at price per meg, we all know the price per meg in bandwidth has been declining over the years. But if we look back, this takes the time period snapshot of 2012 to 2017. So back in 2012, price per meg was just a little over $4 a meg. Now you flash forward to 2017, and we're down below $2 a meg. So it's over a 50% decrease. So proving that we know it's actually going down, what can we do about it? You know, option A that we should absolutely do is the customers need more bandwidth for the increased needs of the technologies. We need to sell them more bandwidth. So that's an easy one. The second thing, though, is that we need to sell them those other products that we mentioned. So we're going to jump into the next slide, and we're going to talk about the evolution of cable and what that's enabled us to sell some of those other technologies. So you've probably heard the word DOCSIS thrown around, and what DOCSIS really is it's what all the cable providers really use for their coax networks, and it's the underlying technology that allows them to do what they do over that coax medium. So if we look back in 1997, really when DOCSIS 1.0 came out, it was 40 down by 10 up, and we thought that was amazing compared to the 1.5 meg T1s up and down. And so that kind of revolutionized the game there, and the coax providers started to become relevant at that point. And we fast forward a little bit, you can see in DOCSIS 2.0 the upload speed jumped to 30 megs, and then up to 2008, we really now have this compelling option with DOCSIS 3.0 and the technology that enabled to do a gig down in theory by 100 megs up. And that's more than most businesses really need, but it offers a compelling story against those who are on these legacy bandwidths, these legacy T1s, and it's more bandwidth than they'll ever need, and it's so cost effective. And so looking forward a little bit, these numbers that you see for DOCSIS 3.1 and the really cool thing, full duplex DOCSIS 3.1 is these are some theoretical numbers that what the new DOCSIS platform is capable to do. So just because you see it here, we kind of wait for the cable providers and they all roll it out differently to see what bandwidth they roll out. So, on Comcast right now, specifically with DOCSIS 3.1, we can do a gig down by 35 megs up. And so we'll see that climbing, we'll see the upload speed on that climbing before the end of the year. But, with the needs of technology increasing, we're excited to see this DOCSIS technology continue to grow and grow, and see all the cable codes out there continue to put those increased downloads and upload speeds to enable the technology and all the other things that the business needs. So we'll jump into the next slide and talk a little bit more about the history and the evolution. So we did some research, and cable television started in 1948 in a little town in Pennsylvania. And gradually over time, you can look at this, I won't read through all of these, but you can see this grew immensely from the amount of subscriber base. So if we look at it, started in 48, and by 1980, there was 16 million subscribers. And, you know, fast forward up to the 90s and the 2000s, really at that point, the cable cos looked at the market and said, you know, we need to do the same thing that we're trying to help our partners do, which is look at all the different technologies that a business needs and how to be more sticky to those customers. So the cable cos were trying to do the same thing. They were trying to be sticky because all kinds of other technologies were entering the marketplace, you know, things like on-demand programming, high-speed internet, cable phone service. And so cable cos took a look and said, hey, we've got the fundamental technology with this DOCSIS to be able to then go ahead and put all these different technologies down this same pipe. Because it's easy for them. If a customer knows a Comcast and they trust them and they're paying a bill from them, why not look at what a cable co has to offer when it comes to all those other things like home security, cable phones, broadband, on-demand, high def. As the bandwidth and the technology increases, it enables those cable cos to then be able to go sell those additional technologies. So we'll take another step of the evolution on the next slide, and we can see where this has all come from. So from left to right, you know, limited bandwidth. You know, it was just a couple copper lines coming down the pipe, and you know, you needed to add bandwidth to those. You bundled another T1 that was a couple more copper pipes. But then it was really on the customer to be able to handle what they sent down that pipe and to separate that pipe and create VLANs and all the routing pieces of it. But if you look on the far right, you know, while the price per meg keeps deteriorating, the amount of bandwidth that the cable cos are able to provide is skyrocketing because of this DOCSIS 3.1. And so they're able to send all these different technologies down the same pipe and segment that for the customer to give them the ability to do all of these things. So we'll jump into the next one. We'll talk about some of the problems that this has created and some of the opportunities that it creates. You can go to the next slide. So we're going to look at a couple weaknesses in coax, you know, because just because we can throw tons of bandwidth at the cloud, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work or it's going to work well. We've got to do some architecting. So there are still weaknesses in that technology that can be used to upsell additional products. So the next one, we'll take a look at kind of the quality of a coax circuit. So let's go to the next slide. So we did a little testing here. So on the left side, you can kind of see some of the traditional latency on a coax circuit and how it fluctuates compared to what, if this were a DIA circuit, it would be very flat, be very consistent from a latency perspective. And on the right side, we looked at some of the packet loss. So, you know, we've known and we've been told that this is an oversubscribed network. You know, there's not an SLA, this is the best effort. So it doesn't necessarily mean or guarantee that the packets are going to arrive quickly or that they're going to arrive at all. So you keep in mind that it is still this oversubscribed service. It doesn't really have a ton of SLA wrapped around it. So you have things like voice and video that customers are always going to do and need, and those are incredibly sensitive to latency and packet loss, and they all will be. So keep in mind what you see, the ups and the downs and the fluctuations here, and then we'll jump into the next slide and look at how SD-WAN kind of evens some of these out. So drastic difference. Just by layering in a simple SD-WAN option with a 4G as a failover. So the job of 4G and the job of SD-WAN is to use technologies that you've heard of, you know, redundancy, error correction, to really restore packets that could be lost. And it finds quicker paths to the cloud, kind of the same way that Waze layers onto the Google Maps to tell you a quicker way because there's an accident and things like that when it needs to. So there's no static routing table like there was traditionally to tell the router what to do. This thing is making decisions for you on its own to protect the outcome, which gets you really close to 100% data transmission if all those packets are being sent duplicate. Let's jump into the next one. So there's a couple different ways out there that a customer can purchase SD-WAN. I don't know, maybe you've heard the cleaned up price per meg. So some folks charge on a price per meg and some folks charge on just a flat rate. So there's an average that we calculated, really about $1 that some providers charge no matter how many megs are going through it, $1 per meg to clean up that bandwidth and to really hand that off to the customer. So, you know, this is a conversation that we in the engineering team get brought into a ton because the SD-WAN really is an architecture conversation and it is not one size fits all. So there are all kinds of plus and minuses. Do we need a firewall? Do we not need a firewall? What does the customer want to manage? What do they want to put off on the provider's edge for some responsibility? So We've created a new SD-WAN matrix. You can see the link on there, sd-wanmatrix.com. So you can log in there with your partner back office login, but it gives you a quick at a glance, kind of an easier way to look at all of the SD-WAN providers and what some of their feature sets are. But I would encourage you that what we're seeing a ton now is SD-WAN is really leading a lot of the conversations that we're having, and it always segues into another product, another technology, another pain point, another need. So, engineering is here for you as a free resource to go in and help have those conversations with you and with the customers to really understand what the customer is trying to do to figure out what the best fits are and if there's any additional opportunities. So I would say lean on us and work with your support team to bring in engineering when you see a potential opportunity. We would love to help. So jump into the next one. So number 2, we did a little more testing, and again we go back to look. This isn't promised to be 100% uptime. This is a best effort service. So granted they may have been short, they may have been long. We measured a couple outages on a reported coax line. So what can we do to prevent that? Right? We've sold the coax circuit to the customer. We've talked about 4G. What's next? So let's jump into the next slide and let's see what kind of opportunities that presents. So Comcast specifically has a great product called Comcast Business Connection Pro. So normally in a Comcast circuit, you get the primary router that's dropped there, in the customer telco closet. And with $29.95 as an extra cost per month, if that customer cares about resiliency and can't afford any downtime, they can put in a second backup router that primary router connects to. So it's automatic 4G LTE backup across the stronger of the 2 wireless networks. And in some instances, it even comes with a battery backup that can provide up to 8 hours of power. So if your customer has any kind of UPS in their racks that can keep their equipment going for a few hours, then they're going to have a backup internet connection right here to hand off to their network and be up and running. And you did that, and you saved the customer all that quantified dollars for a $29.95 a month upsell. So huge value of what it does from a resiliency perspective for the customer. So, in addition to that, they even actually get some visibility into an online portal that lets them monitor their service status. So we'll jump into the next one. We'll talk about a third opportunity. So this is an interesting one that I think it provides so much opportunity that we don't even necessarily think of. Coax lines, they're ideal for retail stores. And a retail store is to get as many people in the door, keep them there for as long as possible. So I think the Comcast Wi-Fi Pro option, for an example, provides that ability. If you think about the easy to configure guest Wi-Fi, you can turn that into a marketing tool. So you've all been familiar when you jump on the guest Wi-Fi, you get a screen pop when you pop into your web browser. It says, I accept. A business could easily put their daily promos on there, put some specials that they're running, put a link to the social media page to gain some following. So there's all kinds of marketing tools you can do there, and demographics to see how long folks were in the store, foot traffic, and all of that you can lean on, right? And that's a $20 a month upsell, and that takes some of the burden off of the partner for some of these small, or off of the customer for some of these small retail shops. So another easy upsell. Let's go to the next slide, and there's one more. So number 4, this is one that I don't think a lot of people think of because traditionally a customer might not think of their cable co as somebody that can do video monitoring, but they've got a great product called Comcast Business Smart Office, a very easy way for $29.95 a month to pop a camera in there, give the customer some visibility into their store, whether this is a security discussion, whether this is just visibility on a remote site. It's a very easy enabler to give them access to their location that otherwise they might not get. And this is another one of those that customers are asking and looking for these things anyway, so if we can offer and have you offer some of these solutions to the customers, it's just another thing that they're going to think of you for next time to help keep this customer sticky to you. So let's wrap up on the next slide, and we'll talk about some of the math and how this breaks down. So on the right, this is our traditional, hey, I need 25 megs of internet. Great, I can do it. It's $69.95 a month. We'll get it going. But if you just go through the 10 minutes that we took, the 15 minutes that we took to ask a couple of these other questions, to add in the backup, add in the Wi-Fi, add in a few 365 licenses, it's crazy to leave all this money on the table because most of your customers are ordering this stuff from somewhere, and it would make a lot of sense for them to do it through you. So you can see that we took this from a $69.95 opportunity to a $718 opportunity, and we've done this time and time again. So I would encourage you to lean on our team, lean on the engineering team to let us help you understand how to have some of these discussions, and we're happy to educate you on the conversation to have. If you just, hey, I need some questions answered, help me, I'm going into this meeting, or you want to bring us in on that conversation or on that meeting and leverage our engineering team in any way that you see fit. So be happy to help. And I believe that wraps it up, so we're open for questions.
Thanks, Josh. Terrific presentation. You know, it really is interesting how coax services have evolved over the years, both in terms of what they're able to offer, but the applications for those services as well. And while it still tends to be something of a transactional sale, there is so much that you can build on top of that, either with regard to the application or functionality, that really makes this an interesting sale. I think many partners who haven't looked seriously at coax for the last few years really have to familiarize themselves with this and take a look at all the ways they can make money using that. True?
Oh, absolutely. It's our job to stay in front of all the technologies, just my team from the engineering perspective of what are all the latest and greatest and what do we need to be aware of. And so it's important that we work with the partners to stay on that same path, because there are so many technologies that you wouldn't think 5 years ago that a traditional telco or a traditional cable provider would be able to offer. But putting all of that on one bill, somebody that they know and they're familiar with, it definitely potentially creates additional opportunity.
So taking a look at our chat window here, we don't have many questions from our partners. We encourage our partners to go ahead and submit any other questions or comments you may have for Telarus VP of Engineering, Josh Lupresto. Just taking a quick look here, it appears that there was either a question or a comment about, says, any similar backup offer for the Spectrum Legacy Time Warner coax markets?
Yeah, Comcast has kind of been front of the market for this, and part of this, when we did the research, is that their coax and Spectrum will be coming soon. So we don't have a ton of similar products comparably, but those will be coming out very soon that we know of.
Very good. There was also a question from Matt Peckinpah about Comcast surveillance. Is that something that partners can get paid on? I don't know if that's a question you would know the answer to or not.
I would have to dig in. I don't know if we're talking about the same product or not, or if there's an additional product accompanying that, but we're happy to check and if he wants to reach out.
Okay. There's also a question from Trevor here about whether or not Office 365 subscriptions can be arranged through Comcast.
Yeah, absolutely. If we flash back, I believe it was the slide right before this, part of that we talked about was just 10 simple Office 365 licenses, just asking that question, right? At $14.95 a month. That was an easy option that we can now do through Comcast as well.
Very good. Question earlier on that came in, I don't have a name associated with this, but in referencing one of the comments that you made, they said, why are they getting SD-WAN and Connection Pro?
So, great question. So the job of Connection Pro is to really take a 4G card and put it into a device that gives the customer an Ethernet handoff. So really think of this as just another Ethernet handoff. So Connection Pro's job is to not, look at error correction, look at the, intelligently select the paths and really the smart capabilities that are in an SD-WAN appliance. So when coupled with an SD-WAN appliance, it gives it that alternate path. So really the brains of all this is in that SD-WAN appliance of selecting the paths and prioritizing and things like that, and then it will choose which to send it out to. So priority path 1 would be the coax connection, and if there's packet issues, if there's latency issues, then priority number 2 would be that Connection Pro and go out the 4G route.
So for partners who may not be as familiar with coax-based services because they've been focused on other products, where do you suggest is a great place to begin the training on what these services are and how best to begin quoting and provisioning them?
I would say from a flyers and PDFs and technology perspective, route number 1 would definitely be to start with your PSM, because there's a ton of collateral that they can help provide. There's a ton of collateral in the back office, but we love, from an education perspective, reach out to engineering at any time. We are happy to help arm you with the questions. If you want to become the expert, we'll make you the expert. If you want to know enough to be dangerous and just bring those opportunities back and loop us in, we're happy to help do that too. So regardless, work with your Telarus resources. And if you want to set up some sort of education, some sort of training, ask them to loop in engineering, and we're happy to do it.
Very good. I think that pretty well does it for the questions on our chat line. There was one more about whether or not we have PDFs available for Comcast products and services. All of our training materials are available in the Telarus Partner Back Office. You can go in there and find a wealth of information from all of our suppliers. And if there are specific items that you need, simply contact your Telarus support manager. They'll be happy to work with the supplier involved to track down any information that you might need. Josh, last word to you. How would you sum all this up, and what should partners take away from today's training?
If you take anything away, I would say that our favorite thing to do is to ask questions. So, for engineering, call us early, call us often. There are a lot of products, and customers are looking a lot of different ways to buy things. So let us help you figure out how to make that customer sticky to you. And that conversation can be different every time. It can be the same every time. But regardless, we are happy to educate and train until you do not want to be trained anymore, because we want to arm you so that you know and the customers know all the things that you're capable of. So any way we can help with that, please reach out.
Sounds great. My thanks to our guest, Josh Lupresto. He is the Telarus VP of Engineering. Josh and his team welcome the chance to speak with you personally about opportunities of all sizes and can assist in recommending and designing solutions that truly meet your customers' long-term needs. You can call or email Telarus and ask for engineering help on your next opportunity. Telarus engineers can truly tip the scales in your favor. Thanks, Josh, for an outstanding presentation today.
Thanks, Doug.
And thanks to each of you as well for your attendance and participation today and every Tuesday on our weekly call. We are back next week. Till then, I'm Doug Miller, the voice of Telarus. Have a great selling week, everyone.